Hello everyone, welcome. I have a mixed media tag tutorial for today. I'm using the Creative Embellishment products and I start with this large tag. I'm using these swirls and I'm going to create I'm going to play with all this chipboard to create a design on over the large tag. I'm going to adhere the swirls. Now I'm using the tacky glue to adhere the chipboards. And I'm going to play with them to create a shape over the tag. This tag is 10 inches long by 5.5. And I move a little, and once I know that I want it, I adhere it over the tag. Now I take different pieces of chipboard. I am taking some of these buttons, a butterfly, and all these pieces, and I'm going to apply gesso, a coat of gesso to all the pieces. I'm using a craft sponge to apply the gesso. Once I have all the pieces with gesso, I will let it dry apart, and I'm going to do the same with the large tag. It's important that before you apply the gesso, the pieces that you adhere are completely dry. I want to cover all the tag or apply gesso to all the tag before I adhere the other pieces. So for that reason, I continue applying gesso until I cover all the gesso in white. And now I'm going to start to give textures with this stencil by Creative Embellishment and modeling paste. I try to give textures around the pieces of the chipboard here. This stencil is called Fairy Dust 2 and is one of my favorites stencil from Creative Embellishment. I will let you in the box down below the link to Creative Embellishment. You can visit and shop direct from them, from the link that I let you in the description box down below. And I continue adding texture, and now I'm going to dry all this very well. Once it's dry, I take the gel medium and apply here in between the two swirls, and I want to add more textures over on the tag, and for that I am heating a piece of cheesecloth. I am playing with the cheesecloth, trying to give shape or try to cover part of the tag, but I don't want to cover the chipboard, the swirls. So I'm carefully make wrinkles with the fabrics and add all these textures around the chipboard here, the pieces that I add here. Then I apply gel medium over the fabric, and it is like a sealer. Once I add the gel medium over all the fabric, I will cut or trim off the excess, and then I'm going to start to adhere all the other pieces. And this is like a other swirl, and I want to adhere in the center here, and I'm using the hot glue gun because because it will secure the piece immediately, and the gel medium takes a little time to dry. Then I take it is a resin frame, and I'm going to adhere this piece over the last chipboard, and I will cover with this piece. I will make an onion between the swirl on the top with the other one. Then I'm going to start to adhere the different buttons here, the chipboard buttons, with gel medium. And the smaller button here. Then I take, these are pebbles, glass pebbles. I bought them in Dollar Tree, full box for full bag of these glass pebbles for $1, and I'm using them in this project here. I'm going to adhere the other one. Let me see, not too close here, and because they are the difference between this one and the other that are from acrylic or plastic. These one are heavy, so you need a strong adhesive to adhere the glass pebbles. I'm going to add the last pebble here inside the frame because I want to adhere the butterfly from this one. And I'm adhere with shell medium here. Now I want to add more texture, and I want to add a piece of lace in this side and other piece here in the top corner. Now I adhere the word vive, that is from the Spanish word set by Creative Embellishment. Vive, it means leaf, and I need to cut a tiny of the lace here, and now I place the title. Now that all the pieces are adherent, I want to add texture, and I'm using art stones with gel medium, and I'm going to adhere the art stones around the frame and randomly around all the swirl here and over the chipboard. I'm trying to cover the white space between the frame and the pebble here. That's why I am applying a lot of art stones in around the frame, and then I apply randomly from more to less. I continue adding the art stone here. I prefer to adhere the art stone in that way with the paintbrush, but if you don't have the patience and you want to put them very fast, you can mix the gel medium and then apply with a spatula. Okay, I add this moss. I remove the butterfly and add this moss and then adhere it back, and I sponged the moss with gesso. Now I take the color blooms. It is the easiest color. I love this purple, and I'm going direct and spray around this area because this is the area that I want that looks darker. That's the reason that I don't think twice and I spray the color here. And now I start to blend the color or to smooth with I spray water and blend it with that. It makes the color smooth and soft. Now I will add this blue and I start applying a little here and there and blend it with water. I add water and it turns lighter, the color, and I start to apply, but I want touches of blue, but I'm not sure to use the and spray direct, so I prefer to use the paintbrush and apply direct in the areas that I want the color blue, and I continue adding the blue here and there. And now on the background I'm going to dry everything very well, and then I'm going to start to apply the purple in the area that I want. I add water, and now I move the tag because in that way I can control better where the color goes, because once you apply the water you will see that it looks like watercolor. They will start to run with the water, so it's better for me. Sorry, I hope that you don't go dizzy, because I am moving the tag, because I am playing and manipulate the color, the paint in that way. And I continue adding water to all the borders. Now I'm going to dry all. Once it's dry, I decided to add touches of gold. I was thinking to add silver, but at the last minute I said no, let's go with gold. And I take this is from Heidi Swap, and I'm using, I want to be careful with the gold, so I prefer to use it with a paintbrush and apply the gold only in the areas that I want. And I add the gold to the title too. Once it's dry, I'm going now to highlight all the texture with gesso. And for that, I'm taking my craft sponge and I'm dabbing over all this texture with the gesso, but carefully, because I want to apply almost dry the sponge, only a tiny of gesso. And in that way it looks soft. I love more with soft color than darker, so, I mean, I like for my style, but for that reason I apply the white gesso and I cover all the area. You will see that the pebbles and part of the butterfly is like a highlight, and you can see here how it looks after apply the sponge with the gesso. You see now. Now I decided to add or to enhance or highlight the gold area with gel medium and golden glass beads. So I'm going to add this glass bead only in the area that has the gold color. I'm using a small paintbrush with a fine tip to add these art stones. I mean this glass bead, because they are gold, and I only want like the, you know, when you want like a little touch of gold, not too much. So for that reason, I apply only in some areas. And once I put the glass bead, I want to add some pearls, and I'm using this one by Prima that are in gold color, and I'm going to adhere them randomly here and there. But once I adhere all the pearls, they look like they pop out too much, so I use the same technique and I sponge a little gesso over all the pearls. And now to create more texture, I gave white paint splatter over all the area, over all the tag, and I dry very well here all. I decided a last minute to add a little to distress the border. I think that if I add this on the border, they will enhance more all the details in the tag. And I decided also to add more color, so I used one of the violet and add more color. You can see here. Okay, at last minute I decided to add flowers, because I was thinking a butterfly without flowers. Okay, I add these small flowers, and then to smooth the color I apply a sponge with gesso. And here is the final result. Look at all the textures, the layers. I really love the final result. And do you love it? Let me know with a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And I let you 2 more videos that maybe you are interested. I see you soon with other video tutorial. Nos vemos. Bye bye.